Hi everyone, it's Sue. I'm back again today with another part of our series using up your 12-inch papers. This is number 4. I hope you're all still really feeling inspired and getting something from these videos. So this is what we're making today out of one sheet, minus these tags. I just wanted to show you what I've done. So this is a take on, if you haven't seen a video I did on a flippy pocket, I still haven't come up with a name with it. This is another take doing a similar thing. Okay, so you've got room for a pocket, for a tag there, sorry, and then obviously you will probably use a shorter tag here, and then I would glue 1, 2, 3 sides and then do an elongated tag in the back. Or you could go 1, 2 and then have a tuck there, or 1, 2 and a tuck there. Okay, now same thing again with all these things that I do. You don't have to sew. I just love the sewing, the texture that the sewing adds. It's a different element, and I have access to a sewing machine. I have sewn for a lot of years, so don't go out buying a sewing machine. Glue works just as well. Okay, so you will need 1 sheet of double-sided scrapbooking paper, okay, to get these. So I've done that one, and this is now I did see this years ago, this little piece here, and I can't remember who it was, I'm sorry, but I use these to make my little ephemera packs that I sell on my website. So that's that, and then just a little closure that I make to go on them. So we're doing that. I won't put the closure on there now. And then we're doing this one as well. So this all comes out of a 12-inch sheet. So obviously minus the tags and the ribbon and what have you. So, and then we just have a pocket here in the middle, a pocket here, and a pocket here. And then it all just folds up and then ties up nicely. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing today. So what I'd like you to do is grab a double-sided sheet of scrapbooking paper. This is my same box that I've been playing with. So I'm just going to go through and grab a sheet. What have we got? I like this one anyway. One of these two maybe. I'm going to go with this one, I think. Yeah. I'll go with this one. Okay, so what we want to do first is cut your selvage edge off, and from top to bottom cut in 6 inches. So you just want to cut your sheet in half. Okay. This paper is from Kaisercraft, and it is the Scrap Studio collection. The paper itself is called Expressions. It's an older range, so whether they still have it in stock or not, I'm not sure. Same thing, keep your selvage piece. You can use, like, you could cut all those words up and use them on different embellishments, so I'll put that aside. Cut it in half, so that'll be 6 inches. And I've just realized this piece that I'm using isn't really going to work with my no, it'll be all right. Just keep that in mind, I guess. If you've got a piece that's directional, which this is, it's quite directional. Everything's going the one way. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Maybe grab something that's not directional. Doesn't matter which way you fold it. It's going to look the same. I can still make do with this. So that's okay. So pop this one sheet to the side. Oh, and these are some more bits that I've made those pockets out of other bits and pieces that I've had left over from previous videos. So I've got quite a few bits and pieces done already to go into journals, which is really good. So we're going to cross cut this, as I said, into 6 inches. So you'll end up with 2 pieces 6 inches squared and 1 piece 12 by 6. Okay, so what we're going to do is going to score this. Now, same thing again, think about your paper and what you've got on your paper. So I'm going to use this piece, and I'm going to want this piece will be, that's what you'll see in your journal. Okay, so if you score this piece 3 inches in, or fold it in half, because I don't know how exact my measuring is. So 3 inches in, and then this I learnt from Gail because I didn't think to do this. Flip it around, so this is your scored piece in the middle of your sheet of paper is here, and you need to just score 3 inches again, but only up to that scored edge. Now I can't see without looking in and sticking my head in the front of the camera, so I'm pretty sure that's right. Yep. So you can see probably from the back's better. You can see I've scored it in half first and then scored one side in half just up to the scored edge. Now what you need to do is just, I don't know if I can find scissors. So you can see hopefully you can see the scored edge there. I just want you to cut either side of that scored edge. So you're going to just have a little slither of paper. Okay, so you're just going to have this piece of paper, and I have, no, that's right. So I'm going to fold this over now, and that forms one pocket, and then you can just snip that piece of paper there and discard that, get rid of it. Okay, just hoy it. And then I'm going to fold this side over as well. So you've got tiny little slot there. You can make that wider if you want to, but it's just to sort of differentiate both pockets. So as you can see, I haven't measured that really well when I cut 6 inches, and we've got a bit of overlap there. It doesn't really matter because we'll probably be gluing that side down, but because I am who I am and that will really worry me, I'm going to just trim that excess away, because you might decide to have this as a floating pocket as well, because the back of the pocket is just as beautiful. It'd be a shame to glue that down, so you could have that as a floating pocket. Okay, so now if you get your circle punch, and we're just going to cut a divot in the top of each pocket. I'm just eyeballing it. That's one. And try and get it in the center so that both divot is in line as best you can. And then basically that is your pocket. That's this pocket here, okay? So what I did then was I just glued with just a little bit of glue on this edge. So if you open it up on this edge here, so just a little bit of glue, and on the bottom edge, and I've gone too far in there, so I'm just going to get rid of that, because I am going to pop this through my sewing machine. As I said, you can just glue it down and be done with it. You don't have to sew at all. You could even, if you wanted to, you could just staple as well. So and there you have a pocket. How easy is that? So that's just a take on my hinged pocket that I did earlier on. I will put the link to that video down below if you haven't seen that. And then what I would do is I would sew all around here and all around here. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the camera and I'm just quickly going to do that. I'll be right back. So there you have it. I've sewn around that. I'll just trim my threads. I'm just going to trim these side ones off completely. And if you wanted to ink, I'd probably ink before sewing, particularly if you want the divots inked. And there you have a pocket there. And a pocket there. Now, you don't have to have this little slither of paper cut out. I just think, as I said, it just differentiates one pocket from the next. Okay, so that's that piece. Next piece we're going to make is this little folder, and we're going to make that with this 6-inch piece here. Okay, so what I want you to do is just fold it in half. Now, this is I have got, if I can find it, let me fold this in half. Okay, so that's folded in half. I have got the We Are Memory Keepers gift bag punch board. So if you have that, I'll show you how to do it on here. So you're needing to line it up with this piece here, the center mark of your paper, and you want to make sure that you're doing it on the bottom. So this is the bottom, so tip it up so that the inside is facing you, and you want to line it up with that little arrow there. Okay, and we're just going to punch that down and you end up with this. Okay, so now this is, let me see, approximately, this is approximately a 1 1/4 inches to there. Okay, so if you don't have this little punch board, it's okay. So all you need to do is measure 1 1/4 inches up from the base and just cut a triangle to the scored line, and you'll get that. You just won't have the round edge. You can round that off if you want to. And then all you need to do is just fold this up. Okay, I'm just hoping my head doesn't get in the way. I apologize if it does. Okay, now when I do my little ephemera folders and I fill them with 10 pieces of ephemera, I do actually I back these with coffee stained paper. I'm not doing that today. Okay, and I would now sew around here and then all the way around here. So you can see I've done that. But for the purpose of the people that don't have sewing machines today, I'm just going to glue this one. And all you do is just glue that little flap, and you're just gluing it down. So you do that on both sides. Just keep in mind, once you start putting bits and pieces in here, you might need to add a little bit of extra glue because it's going to push the pockets out. Okay, that's why I like to sew, because it just adds that little bit extra. Okay, so there you have a little pocket. Now we're going to make this to go around it. So off your piece that you've got, your 12-inch by 6-inch piece, you need to cut 1 1/2-inch strip. So 1 1/2 down this way. So once again, work out if you want to use this on the front, but just work out which end you want to use. I'm going to use this on as my band, so it doesn't matter so much, but I just need to think about, I'm just thinking ahead here for my next piece. So I'm going to cut my 1 1/2 inches here. Okay, sorry, 1 1/2, 1 1/4. I'm getting myself all mixed up now. I don't know what 1 1/2, yep. So we're going to cut 1 1/2 inches all the way across, and you end up with this piece. Okay. So now what we want to do, I'll just open this up and show you. What we want to do now is just make this like a tag on each end. So once again, I have my tag punch board, which I love. And I just, so it's all symmetrical. I use it completely differently because this drives me mad. Hey, you've got to pick it up and replace it each time. I am going to go on here and I'm just going to cut. Actually, I could go a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit deeper with those angled edges. Okay, so do that on both ends. If you don't have this, that's fine. I just find this easier. For me, you can just cut your angled edges, okay? I guess we all use our tools the way it suits us best, don't we? So what I'm doing is I'm just eyeballing it again. Once again, you can measure if you want to. And I'm just going to pop that on top of there and I'm just gently going to fold this over. So you can see that's a little wrap for the front. I'm actually going to ink that just so that it stands out a little bit more. Once again, this is all optional. And I'm not going to do eyelets. I'm just going to punch a hole in them just for the exercise of, you know, some people may not have eyelets, but we can all make a hole of some sort, whether it's with an awl or a craft punch. And so see how that pops off there a little bit more. So I'm just going to grab, I've just got one of these circle punches and I'm just going to pop a hole in each end. This is so blunt. I've had it for ages though too, so I might need to get a new one. So you've got the holes there now for your closure. Now I'm just going to run off and grab some ring reinforcements, because once you tie in there, that you've got a fair chance that you can pull that through. So I'll be right back. I'm back. It took me ages. I've cleaned up my room and I can't find anything now because everything's put away. Okay, so I've shown you this before as well. I've been doing this for years. These are shiny, these, and I still use them. Ink them up and randomly stamp on them. And then what you can do, you can either put the circle directly onto your piece, or you can punch the hole, obviously with a better hole punch. You can punch it and then peel that sticky bit off, and you've got a ring reinforcement there. You can actually buy the matte ones, and I was lucky enough to find some of these in a cheap store, and I tried to buy some more for a friend and I can't find them. So these are matte, so the ink's going to stay on there a lot better. Same thing, ink them up and stamp on them if you want to, and they're all ready. You just peel them off. And also another thing that I do, if I coffee dye, you can get so your tags like this that have them already stuck on there. Sometimes when you coffee dye, it dislodges them and you end up with these, they fall off everywhere. So I keep these and just reuse them again. Okay, so today though, what I'm going to do, I just wanted to share that with you. I found these pink dots that I have already colored and stamped, so I'm just going to use 2 of those, 4 of those actually, because I think I'll put them on the front and back just to really add stability there. So I need to put my glasses on for this so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to punch, try and get it in the middle of the circle stickers. And as I said, this is just about had it, I think. That's why I like to use my crocodile more so. And then I'm just going to go onto the back and just cut those those little bits that didn't come away. So I'm trying to do it so that you can see what I'm doing, but I'm making it look like hard work. Okay, and then we can just peel them off, and on the front and back we're just going to stick them down. Okay. There you have it. So to get something really pretty, you don't need to have a sewing machine. You can just make it with glue and paper. And I'm just, because I found this pink one first, I'm just going to go with it. Pretty. Put that in there. And tie it up. There you go, how sweet's that? So I'll probably go around and ink this after the video, but you don't have to. So that looks just as good as this one that is sewn. I won't tie that up because I'm a bit pedantic about my bows. Cute, hey? Okay, so that's that one. So this one as well, I'm going to do the same thing. So I can show you with your sheet that you have left here now. And it will be 10.5 inches by 6 inches, okay? At this point here, I would cover, which I did with this one, and I'm not going to do it in this one because I do love this paper here. If you've got something, this was like that really bright green, and I'm not a big lover of that color, so I decided to cover it with coffee dye paper. Glue it on now. So glue it on with a glue stick. I just use this glue stick from Kmart. Glue it on, get it on there, and then sew. Actually, don't sew now. Once you've got your pockets cut, then go around and sew it all, okay? But as I said, I am not going to put coffee dye paper in this one, and I'm not going to sew, just so that the people that don't have a sewing machine can actually see what it's like without as well, okay? All right, so what we need to do is we're going to measure. Just let me check, I did write down these measurements so I didn't get myself all messed up. 10, so this is 10.5. So we're going to score in, so work out, just roughly have a look and see what you want to be your front. So this, okay? And I'm going to have I think it's the best with this one. See what I mean when I say if you get something that's not directional, you're not going to struggle as much. But this doesn't matter. The bird, he's flying upwards, so it doesn't matter. So that's going to be my front cover. So what you want to do is you want to score from this edge. So your non-cover edge, you want to score in 2 5/8. Okay. So 2 5/8. If you've got thin paper, just be careful when you're scoring. Okay, so now we're going to tip your sheet clockwise so that you come to this unscored side, and you're going to score in 3.5 inches. Okay. So first we do 2 5/8. Okay. Turn it clockwise and go 3.5 inches. Okay. So this is your front cover. Okay. Now, same as before with this little pocket folder that we did, we want to measure up 1 1/4 inches, and you're going to cut in to that point on each side. Do you want me to do that? Maybe I'll do that for the people that don't have that punch board. So let me just put some glasses on. Find a ruler. So just measure, and a pencil. Just measure approximately 1 1/2 inches, and just put a little dot on your scored line there. I don't know whether you can see that. And do that on the other scored line as well. I'm trying not to stick my head in front of the camera. Okay, just so that you've got a point to cut to. Okay, so let's hope this doesn't go horribly wrong. What have I done there? I think my dot's completely, I've done 1 1/2. So check your measurements. So we're going to go 1 1/4 inches from the bottom, not 1 1/2, 1 1/4. So I'm going to this bottom pencil mark there, and I don't know whether you can see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just coming on an angle from your scored edge, and I'm just going to that point, and then to the right of that scored edge, just approximately the same amount, I'm going to come to that point, and you'll end up with this. So you can round those edges if you want to. I'm going to leave them straight. It's just that the punch board does them round. So same thing again, up to that pencil point to the left of the scored edge and to the right. And you have 2 little triangles, and you've basically got the same thing, you just don't have the rounded edge. Now we're going to, I just find it easier to tip it up this way, and you're just going to fold these up. Fold them all up. This one I'm just going to do this way, because make sure I've got it straight. Okay. And then you have, so now we can fold these in. And we can fold this one in. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. So just if your folds are a little bit off, just straighten them up and burnish them. And then you have your little flip. So what I did, as I said, I sewed mine, and you can do that, but I'm going to do this for the people that don't have sewing machines. I'm just going to glue, so you just glue from that folded edge to the top of the flap and just hold that down so that you've got a tuck here. You could fold this down too if you wanted to. I just like that open. On this one, fold both pieces open and glue both sides. And this one we're just going to do on the very edge. Okay. And then you have, it's just a little bit off, so I'm just going to straighten that fold a bit. Okay, so same thing again. I'm going to punch a hole here, and I'm going to use my dicky punch, and I'm just eyeballing again approximately the center. Okay, trim that off, and then I'm going to use same thing, 2 of these circle stickers as reinforcements. Okay, and then same thing again, we're going to use some seam binding. Now, because I wanted it wrapped around a few times, I can't remember, what did I do? 43, 68, about 70 centimeters of string or whatever trim you want to use. I'm going to use this pink seam binding so that they all match, and I can just pop them in a journal and they all match nicely. 35, 70. Same thing, I sell this seam binding on my website as well, so if you're interested, I'll pop a link down. You can head over there and have a look. Okay, so I'm just going to go, just have a little tail like that, and I don't know whether this is the right way, but I always go from the inside to the outside, and you just want to have a little loop. Oh, I just realized it matches my nails. Have a little loop here, and because we don't have an eyelet in there, we just want to be careful when we pull that, so just don't tug it too hard, just be gentle. So you have one short end and one longer end. Okay, and once you get it, this is rather flimsy, this paper is not extra thick. If you've got an extra thick cardstock, it'll work a lot better, but once you start putting things in there, it'll make it a lot more sturdy. So I'm wrapping it around twice. Okay, and I'm going to come here and meet here, and then we're just going to do a bow. How's that? So funny because most of the pink is on the back and in the inside, but anyway, I think it all goes. So there you have one that is sewn, and one that is just glued. So that's it for that part of our series today. So we've come up with 3 different pieces from one 12-inch sheet, and they all coordinate, which is beautiful for a journal. So and that's a little take on my flippy pocket thingy, whatever you want to call it. So I hope I am inspiring you all to get into your stash and start using some of it up. Hopefully by the end of this series, we're all going to have so many pieces to use in our journals. As I said, some of these papers you don't need to decorate too much more. I am not decorating as such my pieces. These are just your base pieces to get you going, and you can decorate them as you like. I want to leave mine as is, and then I will decorate them as I put them into a journal to suit that particular journal. So I hope that makes sense. All right, well, I'm going to leave it with you there again. Thank you everyone for your support. You've been amazing, and I just didn't expect that everybody would be loving this series so much. I just made it an effort this year for me to try and whittle down my 12-inch paper stash. So obviously we have a lot of other collectors out there that feel the same way. So I will keep going with the series until I run out of ideas. And once I run out of ideas, we'll move on to something else. So I'm sure we've all got stashes of all different bits and pieces. So until then, I hope if you haven't subscribed and you like what you see, please do so. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. And until next time, guys, I hope you get a little bit of crafting time in. Take care. Bye-bye.